Spring Hill, one of the character areas of Lincoln. The area takes much of its character from its situation. Located on the steep slope of the northern escarpment, just inside the former west wall of the lower Roman city. This wall ran in a straight line from the western wall of the upper city down the modern-day route of Motherby Hill, towards the banks of the River Witham. The terrain is very steep. This has meant that parts of the slope have been cut into or terraced to allow for building, perhaps as long ago as when the city was founded in Roman times. The irregular pattern of the streets here is distinctly medieval. Even if there's not evidence of the individual houses which presumably lined them, certain traces do survive from that time if you look carefully. We know from excavation that in the Middle Ages there were several churches in and around the area. The northern boundary of the area, between Gibraltar Hill and Michaelgate, follows the southern boundary of the graveyard of the lost church of St John the Poor. And the 11th century church, St Peter Stanthacit, long ago demolished, had a graveyard whose western and eastern boundaries ran along the lower parts of Spring Hill and Michaelgate. In the later Middle Ages, various specialised markets grew up in the area. There was a fish market along the eastern part of Gibraltar Hill, and a market for skins at the foot of Michaelgate. Probably, over time, market stalls developed into more permanent structures, and that was the beginning of buildings along these streets. There's no direct sign of that now. Nothing which stands today dates any further back than the early 19th century. The area is now entirely residential, but at the turn of the 18th and 19th centuries, most of it was probably open and used, if at all, for light industry. The modern development called the Ropery, off Hungate, occupies part of the site of a 19th century factory in which long runs of rope were twisted, and from that it takes its name. A 19th century map shows that the original Ropery ran straight as an arrow between Hungate and Beaumont Fee. Near the point in Beaumont Fee where the Ropery used to reach, we find several large detached and semi-detached houses, dating from various points in the 19th century. During this period of the city's industrial expansion, the area developed as a relatively high-status inner-city suburb, with many houses reflecting the wealth that came from these profitable times. Like most houses in the Spring Hill area, buildings here are orientated to take advantage of the striking views across the lower city to South Common and the wider Lincolnshire landscape to the southwest. They are generally of brick, and many have projecting south-facing windows and decorative details, intended to give them a certain sense of status and prosperity. Sash windows are typically found on all floors of these houses. More such buildings are found at the north of the area, at the top of Gibraltar Hill. Only a few 19th century terraces survive in the area. An example is those along the east side of Hungate. As with several areas of the city centre, sites have been redeveloped during the post-war and modern period. Gibraltar Hill has several mostly detached houses dating from the 1950s and 60s. They are quite different from each other in design, but have features in common, partly deriving from a shared response to their position high on the escarpment, large windows orientated towards the views. Stanthacit Court of 2000 and St Michael's Terrace of 1985 are two other developments of detached and semi-detached houses. They're later in date, but much more traditional in their appearance, as they make an effort to blend in with some of the earlier buildings in the area. Many houses have sash windows and detail which refers back to the 19th century. Yet these features are mixed in with more modern ingredients, such as terraces, balconies, and glass rooms on upper floors. Some modern schemes have been developed as courtyards. Typically, such houses have their entrances inside the court, not out on the street. The housing is arranged around the outside of the plot to create a private area inside for parking, not usually for gardens. Like the earlier houses in the area, these new developments are aimed at quite an exclusive market. The most recent addition to the east of the area is the highly modern White House. It's a modern expression of something we've seen before in the area, a high-status residence that takes advantage of its city centre location and views off the escarpment. Although this time there's no use of traditional materials, you'll have to make your own mind up about which you prefer. Generally, this is an area with little public green space. Yet the Victorian properties usually have large gardens, mature plants and large trees, often overhanging the boundary walls, and many of the more recent houses have small gardens. This has the effect of softening the area and making it feel decidedly green, both on the roads and on the many footpaths which cross it. This video is one of a series exploring the sense of place of the many distinctive areas of the City of Lincoln. Explore the Heritage Connect website to find out more about this or other areas of the city. As well as many videos, you'll find a huge amount of further information there. But best of all, wherever you are, keep your eyes open for more clues to the city's fascinating history.